At the beginning of the episode, we are once again shown an introduction. By now, after watching 2 episodes, you've probably figured out that each of the characters is giving their own introduction, sharing their personal perspective. This time, we hear from Chris. She says that she always wondered why we have to move on from pain and sorrow in life. Why does the world keep running on this nonsense? Can't we just always have fun? Is it really necessary to deal with all this pain? These thoughts always haunted her. And when she heard about Hapuna, the same thing crossed her mind. She used it too. Some people claimed it could heal heartbreak, that you could get rid of emotional pain with it. She thought, how strange is that? How can a broken heart cause pain? What if I get a cut instead, then what? All these thoughts raced through her mind. But the amazing thing is, the entire world has already been cut. So obviously, it makes sense. You might remember, at the end of the last episode, Elena found over 100,000 matches, people who looked exactly like Dr. Skinner. She now says that only a hacker could pull this off. There are only 3 hackers in the world capable of doing this: Popcorn Wizard, Dr. 909, and Mad Screamer. The last one turns out to be her. Everyone is shocked to hear this. They then assume that Mad Screamer and Dr. 909 might be helping drive Skinner. These people even appear on the surveillance camera, giving us a major clue: Skinner probably didn't undergo plastic surgery, because if he had, this wouldn't have been necessary. That means he's still walking around with his real face. Meanwhile, Elena gets some information, and Chris and Leland are sent to Skinner's house to gather intel. Duck and Axel head to meet Claude Klein, who used to be Duck's professor at the university and knew Dr. Skinner. They hope he might have some useful information. Then we see a scene at Dr. Skinner's house. Leland and Grace show up in disguise as cleaning staff. But there are police officers there who refuse to let them enter, saying, "Don't you watch the news? The owner of this house is missing, and we've been ordered not to let anyone in." Leland replies, "Fine, if you won't let us in, at least pay us for showing up. We came here, and there should be cancellation charges." When he shows them the bill, the officers are stunned. Meanwhile, we're shown Stanford Hospital, where Claude Klein used to work. It's crowded with patients and total chaos, as everyone who took Hapuna is rushing to the hospital. Axel is waiting there when Duck arrives and shares that people say Claude retired, but no one knows where he went. The only thing they know is that his condition got so bad, he ended up on the streets. Chris, on the other hand, asks Leland how he pulled all this off. Leland replies, "It was easy. Nothing worth overthinking." He asks her what she used to do before all this, and she says she was a secret agent. They finally manage to enter Skinner's house, where they see a lot of strange plants. Meanwhile, Duck and Axel go to a homeless area because Axel knows someone there. Since Claude is now on the streets, they figure this is where they'll find him. Axel says they need to find a guy named Jerry. They enter and begin searching. Chris and Leland are also seen searching through the house. Duck and Axel ask people around if they know a guy named Jerry, the local coordinator. Then Chris finds a tablet on the sofa and wonders if it might be the Hapuna cure. Leland says, "It can't be that easy," and Chris responds, "Yeah, I was just joking," but still secretly keeps the pill in her pocket. Later, a man tells Axel that there's no Jerry here, only someone named Jill who runs things around here. Turns out, Jill is Jerry. He transitioned into a woman. She's super happy to meet Axel. They hug and talk about old times in prison, where Axel met Jerry, now Jill. She asks why they came, and Duck explains they're looking for Claude Klein. Jill responds that all kinds of people live here, and most of them ended up like this after their lives were destroyed. When they learned the world was ending, it gave them some sort of strange peace. Even if they don't say it out loud, deep inside, they accept it. She adds, "So I suggest you don't go digging into anyone's past around here." Duck shares that when he was in academics, someone once told him, "A black Einstein? That'll never happen. Black people don't win Nobel Prizes." That day, Claude stood by him and supported him. That's why Duck wants to thank him now. Jill says, "Okay then, show me his photo." We're then shown Claude, who's playing chess with some others. Duck arrives and gives him a few chess tips, helping him win the game. Meanwhile, a guy approaches Axel and asks him to play basketball. Axel agrees, and they head off to play. Finally, Duck sits down with Claude and asks if he's had any contact with Dr. Skinner. Claude says it's been many years, he hasn't seen him in a long time. The other guy who was with him starts playing Axel. Claude is explaining that obviously, Skinner was a well-known person and everyone respected him. But he got so obsessed with his research that people around him started avoiding him, and this caused a lot of discomfort to others. Since Claude worked with him, he also thought there was no need to keep ties with him and broke all contact. But then he saw how Dr. Skinner became very famous and rich. People started admiring and recognizing him, which made Claude feel very jealous. Because of that jealousy, he presented false results in his research. The university found out about this and expelled him. And now, you can see what condition he's in. Next, we're shown Axel in a scene using his impressive parkour skills to beat the other guy. Claude recalls that once they were talking about baklava, which is a Middle Eastern pastry. Skinner had mentioned that his grandmother Belinda made amazing baklava, and her recipe was genuinely special. As far as he remembered, she lived somewhere in stubble, but he didn't know whether she was still alive. Then Doug stands up and thanks the professor for taking care of him and supporting him at one point in time. He walks over to Axel, who has already won the match. Jill asks whether they've been friends for a long time, and Doug says no, they just recently met. Jill then says that Axel is a pretty amazing guy, he makes friends easily and gets comfortable quickly wherever he goes. But just when you start to know him, he disappears. So, they all leave and finally meet at the barbershop. Now they start searching for Belinda's place, Skinner's grandmother, but they don't find any clues. While checking the town, they come across an area where the crime rate is very high, and even the surveillance cameras are off. It's an ideal hiding place for Dr. Skinner, but it could also be a trap. Still, they have no other option but to go there. It will only take them 6 hours to get there via the hypercube. Axel and Leland are sent to this place called Turnbull. Though Leland is in disguise, people still recognize them. Elena starts reading transaction data within that area, trying to locate the hacker. As they proceed, they encounter some thugs. All the thugs start chasing them. Leland can't fight much, but Axel uses his parkour skills to beat them and escapes with Leland on a bus. They start running over rooftops. We're shown a little girl playing nearby, and suddenly a roof collapses. Leland falls down. Axel wonders where Leland went. The thugs break the door, enter, and catch Leland. They try to remove his bracelet, but if you remember, that bracelet cannot be removed. One thug even has an axe and is about to chop off his hand when Axel arrives and beats them all up. Leland, frightened, pleads for mercy, saying they only came to meet Belinda and praise her baklava. Everyone calms down and says, "Baklava? Belinda?" They all pause. Meanwhile, we're shown Chris and Doug, who are a bit worried. Obviously, because Axel and Leland's trackers haven't moved. Chris fears they might be dead. Doug says their vitals are fine, but he doesn't understand why they were the ones sent. He says both of them are the best suited for this mission. Chris suggests maybe it's because the others give off grandkid-type vibes. Then the gang-type people take Leland and Axel to Belinda's house. Belinda offers them something to eat. She already knows that these guys came from far away to meet her. The thugs leave. Axel and Leland go inside and start eating baklava first, which turns out to be sweet and tasty. They really like it. Belinda asks them who they are. Axel tells her they are secret agents. Belinda is shocked and says, "Like James Bond?" He says yes. She asks if he has a license to deceive. Axel says absolutely. Finally, they get to the point. Belinda tells them that it's been 3 years since she last saw Dr. Skinner. It's not like she kept it a secret, the problem is, no one ever asked her. Skinner was a sweet boy in his childhood, but he lost his parents, so Belinda had to take care of him. Even though the world is strange these days, he is still her dear boy. Then Leland sees a flower, a tulip, which is rare. It turns out Skinner had sent it to Belinda. Belinda says Skin had sent her a video message. Meanwhile, Chris and Doug are growing restless waiting. Chris wonders what the others are doing and why they haven't moved. Axel watches the video message, where Dr. Skinner tells Belinda that he wanted to come for Christmas and eat her baklava, but he's very busy. He tells her not to worry, as soon as he's free, he'll come to meet her. Belinda goes to get more baklava. Axel realizes that if she matters to Skinner, then Skinner must be keeping an eye on her. That means he might be watching them right now. Axel starts searching and finally finds a camera. He says, "Hey Skinner, it's you, right? Now you're in my hands. I'll make you pay." But it turns out that it's not Skinner, it's someone else. Elena then gets a signal and says, "He's fallen into our trap. I found Dr. 99's hidden wallet and the traces as well." Only 26 days are left until the end of the world, or rather, until mass death. The episode ends here. If you liked this video, give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.